Ray, you're up. Oh, wrong. Oh no, yeah. What's your name? Alright, Lily, come on back up here. Come on back up here. That was amazing. Let's hear it one more time for Lily. All right. I would like to introduce the Mount Edgecombe High School class of 2016 salutatorian, Miss Lillian Ray Turley. Lily is a 3-year senior, originally from the community of Tok, who now lives in Sitka. Attending today's graduation are parents John Turley and Denise Turley, who I would like to also acknowledge. I'll point at them. All right, stand up real quick. You guys be proud. I'd also like to congratulate all the rest of the parents for supporting your kids here. They are an awesome class. While attending Mount Edgecombe, Lily has participated in cross-country, wrestling, National Honor Society, and NYO, where she qualified in the stick pole from Mount Edgecombe and made it to the finals at state this year. That's pretty awesome. Lily has also taken the most rigorous courses and still earned a 3.979 GPA. How do you get a 3.979? Does that mean you got one A instead of all A pluses? That's pretty impressive. I don't know how you do that. I have to ask Mr. Luters. This summer, Lily will work for Al Marine here in Sitka on one of the tour boats, and in the fall will attend UAF to pursue a degree in psychology. After that, she's not really sure what she wants to do, but the one thing that she does surely want to do, she wants to become a certified yoga instructor and travel around Europe. That's a pretty good goal there. So some of the things when I interviewed Lily to learn a little bit more about her and hopefully to teach everybody else out here. One of the proudest moments at Mount Edgecombe High School for Lily was at our rock concert that we play in the main dorm lounge. And she was, that was just a beautiful song, but she was rapping the See You Again song. And I don't know if you want to show how, okay, you don't want to do that. All right. But after fumbling a bit, she was a little bit nervous, but she recovered well and finished strong with pretty much a perfect performance. So that was one of her proudest moments at Mount Edgecombe High School. Lily's favorite class was Mr. Courtwright's Music 2 class. Lily said Music 2 was awesome because of all my peers that I got to work around. It was different. But Music 2 was also Lily's toughest class. It was great going to class, but it was horrible, sometimes terrifying to have to perform in front of people. I think you figured that one out. Nice job. She said, however, calculus and physics was a breeze. Lily's dream, if she had one chance in life to do, is she would travel around the world and be a circus performer. I don't know if we would have guessed that, but that's pretty cool. The one thing that Lily says that she will remember about Mount Edgecombe, and this is pretty neat, everyone is friendly and treats you like a human being. That's awesome. And we at Mount Edgecombe are very proud of Lily and all of her accomplishments. Lily has worked hard to be where she is today and has a great future ahead of her. I wish her and the rest of the class of 2016 the best. Without further delay, I am proud to introduce the Mount Edgecombe High School class of 2016 salutatorian, Miss Lily Turley.
So I have a story from about 4 weeks ago when I went to my last music fest in Ketchikan. I went with the Edgecombs Jazz Band, and I prepared a solo. And I started working on that solo, it was a vocal solo, about 2 weeks before Music Fest, which is a lot later than I really should have. And by the time I got on the ferry, I was pretty terrified. And for those of you who don't know, Music Fest is this thing that happens every year where all of the schools in the region get their bands and their choirs together for 4 days. It went from Thursday through Saturday. And they bring in 4 adjudicators. And in the mornings they have solos and ensembles that are adjudicated, and then they have the jazz bands, and then they have clinics. And then in the evening they have the concerts for the big bands and choirs. And so our jazz band performed Thursday morning, and then my solo was scheduled for Friday morning. So the Thursday performance was good for the most part. My personal part was less good. In retrospect, it was probably fine. But at the time, I was feeling pretty bad about it. And so I was thinking at the time, this was a performance that I wasn't worried at all about. And I just bombed that. And then tomorrow, I have the performance where I only hit the high notes half the time. I'm scared about it for a week and a half. Yeah, it's gonna go great. So this kind of negative thought kind of escalated and ended up with me kind of crying in a corner for like 8 hours. And it was a low point. About 4 hours into that, I realized that I wasn't actually afraid of what I thought I was. I realized that I wasn't afraid of missing my notes or being judged by everyone or being adjudicated in front of everyone. I was actually afraid because I didn't have to do that. I knew that it wouldn't be a big deal to cancel the performance. And I knew that the mess that I was in, no one would really judge me for canceling that performance. But I knew I'd hate myself for it later. And even knowing that it would be so much worse for me later, I still didn't think I could do it. Knowing that I had an out like that, I didn't think I could make myself do it. But the next morning I did, and it was horrible and scary, but I did it, and I was really happy I did it. And as seniors, I think that's going to be the biggest challenge, at least for me, is that we don't have to push ourselves and challenge ourselves. You know, I think throughout our lives, we've always had some support and people pushing us to do things. I feel like my whole life I've always had a Miss McAdams there. It was like that rough draft. Haven't seen that. It's due tomorrow. Yeah. You know, and as adults, we're gonna have an arsenal of excuses to use. Good excuses, reasonable excuses that we can use and will want to use as to why we can't do things. And because we're adults, people are going to accept those excuses. And so we're going to need so much more motivation to push ourselves through these things that people have been making us do all our lives. And I think that sometimes we develop this all or nothing kind of mindset where, and I do anyway, where we have, like in a performance, either I hit every note perfectly, the ending was beautiful, people were clapping and crying and whatever else, or I failed it. It's either a pass or a fail, it's a black or white. But the truth is that sometimes all you need to do is show up and try. And even if you're terrible, you still get better for it. One of my favorite quotes is from the actor Woody Allen. He said, 80% of life is just showing up. And I feel like that's kind of what happened with my performances. I didn't feel ready for it. I didn't do well. I just showed up and I tried. And after that performance, like most performances, I finished and I'm like, oh, that was really good, but there's these things and stuff I didn't love. That performance, I walked away going, nailed it. That was awesome. I am awesome. Yeah. And it was just because it was hard and I made myself do it. And so I just wanted to remind the class of 2016 to just try. Just go up and try. Even if you feel like you're not going to do well. Even if you think you can. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. It is my honor and privilege to present an